Good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat podcast. We're happy to have all of you on today, those who are on WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio, and indeed those who are on the NDC Facebook page. Again, I just want to apologize on behalf of the team for last week's episode not being able to be aired due to technical challenges. But we're back up on the road, and we would have a rather interesting and stimulating conversation for you today. We'll be back in just a moment when I would now introduce my guests for today. So, back with you in a moment.
Hello, Grenadians in Canada and friends of Grenadians in Canada. This is a special invitation from me, Prime Minister of Grenada, inviting you to join me on the 1st of July 2023 at Bellevue Manor for a special evening, a grand gala. Accompanying me will be the Honourable Joseph Andal, MP for St. Patrick West and Minister for Foreign Affairs. The gala is an aim of raising funds to assist us in building a resource centre in Grenada. The resource centre will be a hub for community activities, for training, for meeting, greeting, and for conventions. So, we invite all of you to come out and join us. Your donation to this event is only $250, and space is limited, so we really do invite you to get your tickets early. I look forward to meeting, greeting, and sharing a meal with all of you as we look to move Grenada forward. I look forward to seeing you on the 1st of July.
Welcome back to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat podcast. Those who are on Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio, and indeed those who are on the NDC Facebook page. We welcome you to yet another stimulating Heartbeat episode for today. We have with us for today's program Ms. Andrea Sembenard. She is the chairperson of the Anniversary Celebrations Committee. She is also one of Grenada's ambassadors and special envoy. Also joining us is Mr. Roy McEwen, who is the chairman of the NDC chapter in London. We also have Mr. Bernard Bourne. He is the chairman of the NDC chapter in New York. Then we have Mr. Robert Nurse, who is the chairperson of the Toronto chapter, where this massive event will be held, this great gala, on the 1st of July. Then we have, hopefully joining us later on in the program, Mr. Chris Hall. He is the PRO from the Florida chapter. Hope Chris can join us later on. And then we have Mr. Sweeney Andrews. He is the chairman of the NDC St. John's branch. So, first of all, let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to the Heartbeat today, and to ask Andrea just to give us an overview as to how things are going with respect to the planning arrangements for these massive celebrations to mark the first year of the party in office, the NDC government. Andrea, welcome to Heartbeat once again.
Thank you very much, Terry. And welcome to all the other guests. A very pleasant afternoon to all of the listeners of the Heartbeat. It is quite a pleasure to be here today. Again, to speak about this, the very fast approaching week of 1-year anniversary celebrations. Things are coming along very well. It's very exciting to see the event calendar has evolved even further to include some Carriacou events. The overseas chapters are all engaging, and we'll hear from them today. So it's quite a bit of excitement and hype coming around the very soon week of anniversary celebrations.
Great. Any challenges that you probably did not expect?
There's always challenges. There are actually they are all large events. And so it has been quite a pleasure, in fact. And I think the biggest benefit coming out of the week of anniversary events is the opportunity to work with the party and the various chapters to pull the events off. So it is an opportunity for all of us to work together. Each of the events on the event schedule is a large national scale event. The week of anniversary celebrations is in and of itself a new opportunity for the NDC to celebrate and to show our ability to execute on such matters. So there's various challenges that are coming up as part of the event management, but we're meeting the challenges, we're getting through the challenges. I think we've got come a long way in confirming the details, and certainly the hype is building for the event. But you'll hear as we speak to some of the details, we're still to some extent confirming some of the event matters, and so some challenges, but more opportunities is what we've seen.
Great, fantastic. I know that there's a lot of excitement building with respect to the National Day of Prayer and candlelight vigil. Are you in a position to give some snippets, some details as to how things are progressing with that event?
I can give some snippets about the candlelight vigil. Let me give you the overview of the week to start, just to make sure that we don't miss out on understanding the fullness of the events calendar. And then I can speak a little bit more to the candlelight vigil, which is certainly one of the highlight events. The National Day of Prayer, something that has been called for. But just to, if I may, give the overview of the calendar celebrations. It actually begins today. Carriacou is experiencing their church service in honor of the 1-year anniversary celebrations, and that was today. So I hope to hear from our Carriacou brothers and sisters that they've kicked off the celebrations for their anniversary quite appropriately with church service and prayer as we move forward. The next event on the calendar will be Friday, the 16th of June, which will be the United We Dance celebration. So there's an opportunity to dance and celebrate, and I hope to hear from the chairman of St. John, Swaney, who will give us some of the details of that event. But again, that's a very exciting, festive celebration. We then have the opportunity to hear a national address from the Prime Minister on the 21st of June. That certainly will be live streamed, but we've got to come back to you with confirmation of the venue for that event. But again, a very exciting opportunity for us to get a brief report from the General, the Prime Minister, of how the year has gone. And following that, the following day, the 22nd, would be the town hall event. And so again, you and I have spoken about this before, but really it's quite an amazing opportunity to have the Prime Minister giving a national address and then offering the opportunity for the nation to come and speak with he and his ministers to discuss how the year has gone and what's the way forward. So the town hall on the 22nd of June should be a highly anticipated event. Then we move to, and actually, sorry, I neglected to mention there are in between those dates. So the 17th on Saturday, Carriacou is having a large celebration. They will be meeting behind the long wall at 12 p.m. So that will be that full day of celebrations from 12 p.m. If I remind you again, we've got the dance happening on Friday. You've got time on Saturday to grab a flight, go on down and celebrate Carriacou. You can still be back in time or catch the national address from either side.
Wow.
It's a full calendar. We have then the National Day of Prayer, of course. As you mentioned, this is something that we've heard a lot of call for, and we're really looking forward to the opportunity to have the nation pray together. We would culminate that with a prayer candlelight vigil, which will be at the La Sagesse playing field. We have quite a schedule agenda of events just for that particular celebration event. I'll talk about that now, because following the candlelight vigil, what's left on the schedule is bingo, and I'll give some time to that as well. But for the Candlelight Vigil, that event, as I said, it will be at the La Sagesse playing field. It begins 5:45 would be really the starting time. We will be blessed with the presence of all of our Prime Minister, of course, and all of the members of cabinet, all of the caretakers from each of the constituencies of the National Democratic Congress will be there representing and offering their thanks as well. So this event will in large part be led by the women's arm of the NDC. So we would have certainly the women's group stepping up to lead us in prayer and throughout the worship. We will have representation from several churches, and so that we would have address a representation from the New Testament Church. We would have representation, of course, Senator Andrews would be the lead prayer for government representative. We would have a representative, of course, from the Catholic Church. So we're really looking to invite all persons come together. Let us give thanks. Let us offer our moment of reflection on the year that has passed, and our communal prayers towards our efforts for moving Grenada forward in the year ahead. The event, the Candlelight Vigil, I should mention, also will have entertainment. So we've got singers and musicians that would also be participating to make it a wonderful event. We, for example, are expecting, well, I don't want to say the names just in case, but I'm looking at a lineup of some very exciting and certainly a large lineup. So I will, at this point, just say that it would be also have its vibes to it. And I dare to say it itself will also be a festive celebration and Thanksgiving opportunity. So come, we will be in song, we will be in prayer, we will certainly be giving thanks for the year that has passed. And as I said, collaborating to offer our prayers to the leadership for the year ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. Great. So
our Friday day full of Thanksgiving. Saturday doesn't have an event scheduled for it, and I think that's in part to give people a chance to prepare themselves for bingo, which
yeah,
of course is on Sunday. Now, Sunday morning we would also have church service throughout the constituencies. So each of our caretakers will be leading a church service in their own constituency, an opportunity for each of the constituencies to really come together and pray and give thanksgiving themselves. And then later on in that evening, we would be kicking off the major celebration and festivity for the week's events. And that is the bingo event, which is not only an opportunity for people to come and play bingo and have a great time, but we'd also once again have a very exciting lineup of local artists. So there will be quite a lot of opportunity to dance and socialize with all your friends. We expect really everyone to come out and participate in that event. So Sunday night, the 25th, is the bingo and the overall celebration evening. So that is the week calendar of events. As I said, it's
very packed.
It's exciting. There's certainly something in there for everyone. And I think there's certainly a lot of people who I would encourage to participate in all of it. And I think we can hear from the chairpersons of the diaspora chapters today about how they would be participating in the week as well, which is also quite exciting.
Great. Well, thank you very much indeed, Andrea. Much appreciated. Before we go on to Sweeney Andrews, who is the chairman of the NDC St. John branch, I want to just mention that I'm just seeing a message coming in confirming now that the location for the event on the 21st which was scheduled for the Trade Center, is now definitely going to be at the Radisson. There were arrangements being made for the GBSS auditorium, but I'm told here, based on the large number of persons whom are planning to be at this very special town hall session to listen to the Prime Minister and political leader speak to his year of transformation, is that the Radisson will now be the venue for this event. So I know we had promoted it much earlier, that it was going to be at the Trade Center, but it's important for persons to now know that it's going to be at the Radisson Conference Center in Grand Anse. So thank you so very much, Andrea. And we'll now just quickly go to Sweeney Andrews out in St. John, who would now give us a report on the on-the-ground status with respect to the first venue, Friday, 16th of June. That is Friday coming for that massive event. So, Brother Sweeney, welcome to Heartbeat.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Forrester. Good afternoon to all other guests and everybody listening to the Heartbeat program.
Great, good to have you. So tell us what's happening on the ground, ball by ball commentary with respect to this upcoming event on Friday evening.
Well, the event is a highly anticipated one. If anybody who listening knows that the nature of dance that takes place at the Anglican School, you know, it's always a success. It's one that everyone look forward to, and it's one that people been asking for. So I'm happy that the party could have organized and put on such a great event.
Great, fantastic. So the event, the location is sorted out.
Yes.
Parking arrangements, I'm sure it's going to be not a problem up there, because
No.
You'd have lots of people coming there, and therefore you got to make arrangements for parking. So that is taken care of.
Of course it is. So for those who listen in and don't know, it's at the St. John Anglican School. The space is wide enough to accommodate a lot of vehicles, and you don't have to worry. There will be security to make sure that everything goes fine. So it's the 16th of June, which is next Friday. It's at the St. John Anglican School. It's the admission is only $20, and we also have some tables available. We have the wine tables, which is you get a red wine, a white wine, you get a hookah, a bucket of ice, and it's only $160. Then we have the champagne or the prosecco tables, and you can either get a champagne or a prosecco with the ice and stuff for $160. Then you have the stronger liquor, which is the rum and so on. So you can get a 10XO, or one Eldorado, one Rivers, or a Classic, whichever one you choose, together with the two chasers and the ice bucket. And for the people like me who like a Johnny Walker, you can get a bottle of Johnny Walker, two chasers, a hookah, the ice bucket for $300. So I'm urging people to call and reserve the tables.
Great. And how is that going so far?
We are getting good response, you know. People have been calling and book tables so far. So, Mr. Forrester, don't get left. I hope you book yours already.
Don't worry, we're going to talk privately.
All right.
Yeah. Most importantly, though, we want to send a very clear message, especially to youngsters who will be attending the event, to always be responsible with respect to consumption of alcoholic beverages. We don't want to have anyone, overdoing anything when it comes to alcoholic beverages. So we ask for responsibility in your drinking and in your socializing and so forth.
Of course, all the time.
Great. So anything?
Also to persons out there listening, if you want to make some form of contributions, whether monetary or you want to donate food items, the St. John Party office will be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. during the week. So they can always drop off whatever contribution they have there.
Great. Well, thank you so very much indeed, Brother Sweeney Andrews. He is the chairman of the NDC party group in St. John. And of course, as you know, the representative for St. John is the Honorable Karine James. So our compliments and best wishes to your MP, and wish all of us success on the first event kicking off Friday, 16 June in St. John. Be there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you much. Thank you much too. Thank you so much, Mr. Andrews. And we now go to London, and we'll be chatting with Roy McQueen. He's the chairman of the NDC London chapter. Roy, good afternoon, good evening. I know London is, 4 or 5 hours ahead of us. So good afternoon to you, or good evening. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you for that warm introduction. It's a sunny day today, which is welcomed. So and we hope it stays like that. So good afternoon to all the guests. It's great to see many of you on the show today, and to everyone tuned in from wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon to you. It's early evening, so it's about 25 past 5.
Great, and it's not raining as usual.
Miraculously, today it's not raining. Yesterday began where I live, began sunny. We had breakfast out on the patio and everything, and then by about 3 o'clock, I think it was, the heavens opened. There was rain, hail, all sorts. So
Great.
the weather is the British weather, Yeah.
As usual. Well, Brother Roy, tell us what is happening with the London chapter, NDC London chapter in London, and what arrangements are you making to help celebrate this transformation period for Grenada, for the NDC government party in office?
So it's a lot of good news from England. And we have been, our chapter has been going since about 2003, formally from 2021. That's when we formally became a chapter with financial members and that. So since then, our members are really engaged, really encouraged by what we've done. We've achieved not just the formal establishment of the chapter, but we've also, I think we are the first chapter around the world to have a women's arm, and we're trying to be the first to have a youth arm as well. So Bernard, I know you've been going for a lot longer than we have, but it's the competition's on. We want to get the youth arm up and running. So there's a signal to you. Start your work. So in terms of what we're doing to participate in the first year celebrations, obviously we're encouraging all of our members to engage with the week of activities. And what we're doing on this side is we're encouraging everyone to meet up on Saturday, the 17th, for what we're calling a Zoom social. So we don't have a central venue, so everyone will be gathering in their own homes with their oil down, rice and peas, stewed chicken, whatever food that they're going to cook. And then we're going to all link up on Zoom. We're going to have music. Where we're going to kick off the whole thing with prayer, thanksgiving, to ensure that we're consistent with the mode of celebrations, and then we're going to go around to each of the homes on Zoom and let people speak, share, and really create that camaraderie. Because last year I was on the ground for the election, and I reported back on a daily basis. The enthusiasm, the excitement, all of that from the campaign trail, and people were very encouraged to have that. So I think this time around, we're going to join in. We're going to have that Zoom social, and all of our guests here, you're more than welcome. We will share the Zoom link. Please get involved. Jump on between the times and just say hi, and encourage and give us some encouragement. In terms of other activities that we are putting on the 4th of November, 2023 this year, we're hosting the first ever Prime Minister's Gala in the UK. And this is an amazing achievement because normally we have our head of state, our prime ministers, on their way somewhere or from somewhere visiting. This time we're having a specific visit by the Prime Minister to speak to Grenadians. The website is already, it's all been finalized, but I'm getting calls almost on a daily basis for people who want to buy tickets now. So the enthusiasm for the Prime Minister in November, and we're only in June, is significantly high. So that's what we're doing, and we're encouraging Grenadians based in the UK to tune in to all of the events. Obviously, United We Dance, they'd love to be involved. So for those, we know some people are going down, so they'll be there. But for the rest of us, I suppose, we'll be putting on our dancing shoes in our own homes and doing a bit of a jig to celebrate together. The 21st, we'll all be glued to our screens, and as well as 22nd, 23rd, and 25th. A lot of people have started buying bingo tickets, I believe, and that will continue. We're encouraging people to get involved in the bingo. So from our side, it's a lot of encouragement, a lot of enthusiasm for what we've done and what we can do in the future.
Great. Well, thank you so very much indeed, Roy. Much appreciated. And we're going to be talking to the MP in St. John and to ask whether if she can set up with her chairman a Zoom link so that people like yourselves out in London and New York, Canada, etc., can get a feel as to what is happening out in St. John. And you can probably join in the celebrations. So,
absolutely. I mean, during the lockdown, we had loads of Zoom parties. So, you know, a friend of mine, his son turned 18 while he was with us in the UK, and we had an amazing Zoom party with people tuning in from all over the world. There were people in the Middle East tuning in to this Zoom party and participating. So it's something that technology has afforded us now the ability to be present wherever we are in the world. So we should make use of that. And on the 16th, if there could be a Zoom link or a YouTube link, then we can join in and take part in the festivities. It would be great.
Great, wonderful indeed. With the permission of the chairman, we will try to pursue this initiative. So thank you again for joining the Heartbeat, Roy. I know you have an early engagement, so let me thank you. And I know if you disappear, we'd understand. We'd understand. But if you can stay on, that'd be great. Everyone. So thank you so very much. And we'll be in touch. So at this time now, I'd like to invite Bernard Bourne. He is the chairman of the NDC chapter in New York. Probably one of the oldest chapters the NDC has ever had so far. So welcome to Heartbeat once again, Bernard.
Yes. Good evening. Well, good afternoon, Terry, and and Andrea, all our leaders and listeners in Grenada. To all our colleagues in the UK, in Europe, brother Nurse in Canada, our colleagues in Florida, good afternoon, and to all Grenadians in the diaspora, wherever you are, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are. And thank you for this opportunity, Brother Terry. So,
pleasure indeed. Mm-hmm.
So first of all, before I get into how we are celebrating this first year anniversary of the party's victory at the polls last year, I just want to give a quick update on a very successful event the New York chapter held yesterday. It was our retreat. We were planning this retreat 1 year ago on June 4th, and we had to cancel it because the elections date were set for June 23rd. So we have to pivot and we reorganized the retreat. We had a very successful retreat yesterday. In fact, we had our colleagues. We have the General Secretary on yesterday. We had the Chairman, Brother Roy McQueen, who attended yesterday. We had the Assistant General Secretary from the South, Azam Rahman, who was present. We had the chairperson of the women's arm of the party, Sister Hilary Alexander, attending, and there are several other Grenadians from across the various diaspora groups who attended our event yesterday. It was really an interesting event. We learned as a group and for those participants how we can move and transform our organization from just being a group of people who come together into how to become an effective team where we focus on our goals and our vision and to become absolutely productive and unstoppable. So you will expect to hear a lot from the New York chapter going forward as a result of that new zest of energy and learning that we achieved yesterday. So I want to thank all the colleagues who attended from outside of New York, because we had people on the Zoom from different parts of the world. And we want to be extremely respectful of you and honor your time. And we are grateful that you attended. Our facilitator was a professional leadership coach who is part of the John Maxwell School of Coaching. Jonathan Banks, he is from Chicago. So we had an expert coming in from Chicago who assisted us yesterday to ensure we had a very productive and engaging retreat. So having said that, I'd like to quickly talk about what we are planning here in New York for the 1-year anniversary of our party's victory. First and foremost, on the day of the victory, the exact 1-year anniversary, on that will be next week, Friday, June the 23rd, we are going to be holding what we call a 1-year celebration party, where it's going to be some free food. We invite the community, and we are going to be serving drinks and so on. People could get their drinks, give us a donation. It's going to be an exciting party. That's from 8 p.m. to midnight. So we have 4 hours of serious partying, and we plan to have some entertainment, which we are going to disclose as the time gets closer and closer. That last year we had a similar successful appreciation party after the victory in the very same location, 517 East 85th Street. Excellent party, great memories, and we intend to repeat it and multiply the impact we're going to have this year. Secondly, the day after, we are going to have a touchdown. The New York chapter is to organize a touchdown where members of the New York chapter, including the executive and the PR committee, will move into the Brooklyn area and visit several Grenadian hotspots, businesses and areas with Grenadians, Lime and so on. And we will be engaging them. Hopefully by then, we will have some literature to share with our Grenadian colleagues here in the community, because we are planning to relaunch our newsletter, which is called The Pulse. So that is something interesting we'll be looking forward to. If we have more time to plan it, we might even do a second touchdown 1 week earlier. But for now, our touchdown is planned for June the 24th. Additionally, we are seriously contemplating doing a watch party, a bingo watch party on Sunday the 25th, where we will all gather in one location. Of course, we're going to encourage people to gather in their homes or wherever they are, but we're going to invite people to come to a specific location, which we are working on right now. People can buy more tickets there. We will have food and entertainment also, and we will chime in with Grenada, and we will have a great event where people can play bingo, have some fun. We can raise some additional resources for our party and the chapter, and Grenadians will hopefully we will help win some. We help our supporters win a few of the prizes in Grenada. So Terry, be aware, we come in hard for those prizes. So look out.
Well, that's good to hear.
Look out. And of course, we are going to be mobilizing not just our chapter members, but the Grenadian community here in the tri-borough states, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and so on, to chime in to the national address on the 21st of June and to the town hall meeting 1 day later on the 22nd of June. So we have a lot of work still cut out to do. We have a lot of engaging with the community in the next 2 weeks, because we have to make sure that we have massive participation, huge turnouts to these activities, and great support from the Grenadian community here in New York and surrounding areas. So we are looking forward to a bombastic 1-year anniversary celebrations. I don't know if you have any questions, but I just want to sum up with those comments.
Great. Well, thank you so very much, Brother Bernard Bourne, Chairman of the NDC Chapter New York. Thank you very much indeed. And as you mentioned about touchdown, we had a very successful touchdown with the representatives out in St. Andrew yesterday in the market areas, the vegetable market, the fish market, the car park market area, and the bus terminus. It was really, really great indeed. But at this time, we want to thank you, Brother Bourne, for your reporting. And this moment, we will take a short break and we'll be right back with you. And if our IT experts can probably pick up some of the photos from yesterday, then we can probably share this with you as to what happened in the Grenville market area. But back with you in a moment. And then we'll be chatting with Robert Nurse, Chairman of the NDC Chapter Toronto. So back in a moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Grenada, do you remember that exhilarating feeling when the National Democratic Congress emerged victorious in last year's election? Well, it's almost 1 year and it's time to celebrate, relieve, and rekindle that spirit of unity and triumph. Forward, forward, forward. Now, this is an invitation to you, your family, and your friends to join the Western Zone of the National Democratic Congress for a unique celebration. It's the United Dance Big People Party. Going down on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. until at the St. John's Anglican School in Guab. Admission only $20. Dress code lounge attire. Imagine an evening of commentary where everyone dance, move, and expresses our collective power. Every laughter strengthens our bond, and every cheer celebrates our success. Join us in celebrating our victory, unity, and the power of democracy. So mark your calendar, get your dancing shoe, get your best outfits ready, and let's party with a purpose. See you at the United Dance Big People Party. For more information and table bookings, please call 415-5186 or 405-8783.
Okay, well, thank you so very much. We welcome back to all those of you who are on WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio, and indeed those who are on the NDC Facebook platform. We encourage you to share the live. Okay, so what we'll do now is to move over to Toronto, where we have the chairman of the NDC chapter there, Mr. Robert Nurse. Robert, welcome once again to Heartbeat.
Good afternoon, Brother Terry. Thanks for inviting me on the program today. We're not a chapter as yet. We still are a support group. We are working on becoming a chapter, and we are at the final stage with the General Secretary to complete the new bylaw for us. Once that is completed, then we'll have a vote. The membership.
Well, Brother Robert, you've been doing so much up there and putting on this massive event come 1st of July. You more than a chapter. You're almost a chapel.
Yes.
But anyhow, tell us what is happening out in Toronto and what arrangements are you making to help celebrate this moment in Grenada, first anniversary.
I would love to do that. Sister Andrea said earlier on, putting on these things are a challenge, and it's challenges that we have overcome and are still overcoming. As most people are aware, is Brother Bones in New York, they set a standard, and we all have to follow the standard that they have set. So the cost of our ticket is it's a bit high, but it's for a good cause. Knowing that in Toronto here, we do not own banquet halls or anything to such effect. And the time of the year we're putting on the function is what we call prime time for banquets. It's graduations, confirmations, weddings, and so we have to pay the premium price in order to get the location. It's a beautiful location. The sales of the tickets are continuous. We have noticed an upswing in inquiries and purchasing of tickets from the launching of the Prime Minister ad, which you played early on. People are showing interest. And Brother Bones, I couldn't make the meeting yesterday because I was on the road selling and picking up money for tickets for the function on July 1st. It's a massive one. It has never happened in Toronto, where a function of this nature has been put on at such a high cost, high price. We have we have people who are not Grenadians who will be coming. We have people who have showed interest, and the ticket sales are in itself continuous. It's going to be on July 1st. It's going to be at Bellevue Manor, which is in Concord, 8083 James Street. It starts cocktail hours at 5:30. Dinner is at 7:30. We're hoping to have all the speeches before the dinner itself so that people can have a good time. We have had interest from Grenadian artists around the Caribbean, Grenada, New York, etc., who would like to participate. But because of the time frame we have to work with, we decided that we will stay local with local Grenadian talents within the diaspora. It's going to be a beautiful event. On Saturday, the first is the gala, and on Sunday, there will be a town hall meeting, and that will be held at Tropicana Center. It's in Toronto, and that will start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. To follow up on the activities for the celebration of the 1-year anniversary, because of what we are doing, we will be participating in 3 of the functions. We will be participating in the Zoom Hall Town Hall on the 22nd. We will be participating in the bingo on the 25th, and we have arranged a church service for the 25th at 12 noon. That will take place at my father's house, Apostolistic Ministries, and that is at 8 Templar Drive, Etobicoke. It's Kipling south of Rexdale Boulevard.
Great. Well, that sounds good. As you mentioned, the location of that place, my father's house, you're not referring to your father's house. You're referring to our Father, Jesus Christ.
That's right. That's right. The name of the ministry is My Father's House.
Just wanted to be clear.
Not being religious today, he is a father. So we are going to our Father's
indeed.
house.
Absolutely.
So have such a function.
That's great. Fantastic. But I think the highlight of what Toronto is doing is this massive event on the 1st of July. And this has gotten so much attention locally and, of course, internationally. And I'm hearing now, other parties in the region, they're starting to piggyback on what NDC is doing, in Grenada and, of course, in the diaspora. So we got to stay ahead of the competition always. So thank you, Brother Nurse, for giving us this report from Toronto, Canada, and wish you all the very best, you and your hardworking team. And you never know, I may just be able to see you in Toronto come 1st July. You never know.
Well, Terry, I hope you do so, because we have interest from Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. They want to give us one of their star journalists to help us in MCing. Most people would know the name is Dwight Drummond. He's a radio and TV personality here in Canada for a number of years. Luckily, he's married to a Grenadian.
Ah,
and yesterday, they sent me some questionnaires because they say that he's so Grenadian that they really want to give him to us. And so we're looking forward for a very, very nice evening. Very nice evening.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. Let me find out whether if Chris Hall out of Florida has been able to join us. Chris, are you there?
Yes, I've been here from the start.
Oh, great. Well, I'm glad that you made it in. Fantastic. Welcome to Heartbeat. All right. So we now have Chris Hall, who is the PRO of the Florida support group, and he will give us an update as to what Florida is planning. So over to you, Chris.
I want to say thank you, Terry, for having me on. I want to say good afternoon to the panel, and good afternoon to all your listeners out there in Grenada and in the diaspora. Good afternoon to you. Here in Florida, we are encouraging all our members to tune into all the live broadcasts and all the Zooms. Earlier this month, we had a social where all our members came together. They donated all the food and the drinks. So we came together. We had a wonderful time celebrating each other, celebrating the party. And it was a wonderful event. We got to know a lot of the members personally, because most of the times we have Zoom meetings. You don't really see everybody, and you know the names, but you don't know the face. So we got to put faces with names, and it was wonderful. I'd like to say something about our chapter. We started off as a support group in earlier this year. We hosted the political leader just before the election was called, and his delegation. I remember Sister Andrea Sanbonad. Good to see you. She was there. We had a nice dinner and cocktail event, which was well supported, well attended. And then we had a meet and greet where people could come out and meet the political leader, talk to him. He was pressed in the flesh. It was successful, I would think it was. And soon, shortly after he went back to Grenada, the election was called. I think he had to go to New York after that, and he could make that trip. He won, the NDC won the election, and shortly after that, we decided to become a chapter. So we became a chapter in October 15th, on October 15th, 2022. And we currently have 43 paying members. And started from nothing to 43 paying members, and we're still recruiting new supporters and signing people up. There's a lot of enthusiasm for the party and for the current government. And we love it. We also have some events planned for the rest of the year. We have a Oil Dung Fest that we planned for July 29th, Oil Dung Fest, where all the members will make oil dung, and we would come together. We'll have a judge to judge the oil dung, so we'll have prizes for the best oil dung, and people would come out and support and contribute and buy and have a good time. And our next event after that, to celebrate our 1 year as a chapter, is October 14th. We have a gala where the political leader and his delegation will be in attendance. We're currently selling tickets for that event. Right now, we're selling early bird tickets. They're $175 until the end of June. And after that, the tickets will be $200. It will be at the Florida Ballroom in Pembroke Pines. So we're encouraging everybody out there, if you want to attend, get your tickets now and save, because after June, the tickets will go to $200. And after that event, we are planning a Christmas party with live music and such. That's still in the planning stage, but that's planned for December 16th. And we encourage everyone, when we start advertising for that event, to support as well. And I just want to say, here in Florida, all of the proceeds from our fundraisers, it goes to benefit Grenada. It goes to benefit the administration and the NDC party in whatever way we can. We would support. And we also have a toy drive that we do at Christmas time, where we collect toys and we ship it to Grenada to distribute throughout the constituencies. So that's what we're doing here in Florida, and
Right.
we thank you for having us on the program
Wonderful.
today.
Thank you so very much indeed, Chris. Much appreciated. Let me just clarify, well, two items. But first of all, your event on October 14th, you said the early bird tickets will be $200, and thereafter that cutoff early bird period, what would be the price of the tickets thereafter?
The early bird tickets is $175.
Or 175. Okay,
175. And
Great.
after June 30th, it will be $200.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
All right, and let me just apologize for categorizing you as a support group. You are now a chapter.
That's correct.
And I hope I can be part of the delegation to judge your oil down on the 29th.
Well, we would love to have you, Terry. We would absolutely love to have you.
Let's see how that goes. But I know Andrea loves her oil dog, so she would have first preference.
I wanted to put in a bid. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you very much indeed, Chris Hall. He is the PRO for the Florida chapter, and thank you for your reporting. Just to mention, as we get close to 1 o'clock, we want to just mention here that there is a town hall meeting on Wednesday, the 14th June, out at St. Andrews Southeast. So for those of you who are out in the Crowshoe community and surrounding areas, don't forget there is a town hall meeting, St. Andrew Southeast constituency. Go out there and give support to that town hall session. It starts at 7 p.m. Okay, so also we're hoping to have on the set this afternoon the Senator, the Honorable Gloria Thomas. Senator Thomas, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Maybe. Oh, great. Well, happy to have you on. My friends, and for all those of you who are listening, Senator Thomas is going to be responding to a statement which was made by one of the seed recipients. He is Mr. Rollo, and he made a statement on either Thursday or Friday morning that he is not receiving his seed money of $300, and he is blind, as most Grenadians know. And that indeed, it created quite a firestorm on the internet and on radio, of course. And Senator Thomas, who has responsibility for social services, she wanted to just clear the air on this matter. So welcome to Heartbeat, Senator Thomas, and over to you on this matter. We're not hearing you. I think you may need to unmute.
Okay.
Right. Go ahead. We're hearing you fine now. Yeah.
So good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for having me on the Heartbeat this afternoon. I do not really want to respond directly, as you say, but I want to make some general statements for the general public and for everyone who may be affected some way or the other. What we recognize is that there are a number of persons who go out there making some prank calls saying it is coming from ministry official. Who is ministry official? Our social workers and our seed officers are trained to identify when they make a call and to give the designation. So once you hear ministry official, that could be one of those prank calls. And what we believe is that they're targeting persons who they know will respond in an incensed manner, people who will behave with anger, people who will be furious when those calls are received. They target specific persons. And we recognize that these calls are part of the destabilizing mechanisms in place set out to create confusion, unrest, and discord among beneficiaries. We even have them on Facebook, the Centelia Robinsons and so on. So we have callers, we have Facebook posters, and we have other people using all means just to create problem and to make the Ministry of Social Development look bad and the government in general. So these persons are just out there creating confusion. And it's just sad that some beneficiaries, when they get the call, they play into their hands and they do what they expect them to do. Misbehave, say all sorts of things and so on, without really getting to the bottom of it to ask a question and to get some clarification. Instances where persons indicate that they will lose or they have lost their benefit, it is not so. And that particular individual that you mentioned, that I didn't want to prolong, has not lost any income through the seed. Whatever has been given to him over the years and months to continue to be paid, and he cannot say that he did not receive or has not received. But as I said, there is this destabilizing mechanism outside there, machinery, set out to just create some confusion, and they're targeting specific people that they know will behave in a manner or react in a manner to give the ministry some bad news.
Great. Well, thank you so very much indeed, Senator Thomas. I'm glad that you have clarified this matter, because lots of persons have expressed concern over the fact of the statement made by Mr. Rollo on GBN Radio either Thursday or Friday morning that he has lost his $300 monthly seed money. You are confirming that he has not lost the seed money, and that there are mischief makers out there calling individuals whom they believe would react in a negative manner. So we thank you for clarifying this matter, and hope that this practice will cease on the internet and in other areas where they try to perform such discord. So any final closing comments from you, Senator Thomas?
Okay. We want to encourage persons who are on seed and have not been certified, recertified, should come out, reach out to the outreach office and make themselves known. We are unable to locate some persons because they have changed location, and this is creating a problem for us. So persons who know they are on seed and have not been recertified, please try and come out to the outreach office in your parish and make yourselves known. If we are not able to locate you, we'll have to suspend until you come out for us to verify who you are. We recognize that some persons are on the list with a false name, or a home name, as we would say. So we ask you to work with your ID so we can have the name rectified and have your official name on the list. And this is what I would like to say in closing. Those of you who are not being recertified, who have not been visited, to come out to your revenue of your outreach office and get this matter addressed.
Great. Well, thank you so very much indeed, Senator Thomas, for clearing up this matter. Thank you so very much. At this time, time has certainly quickly advanced on us, so I want to thank all my guests today. Andrea Sempanad, she is the chairperson of the this year's Anniversary Celebrations Committee. Mr. Bernard Bourne, who is the chair of the NDC Chapter New York, Mr. Roy McQueen, the chairman of the NDC Chapter London, Robert Nurse, who is the chairperson of the NDC Chapter Toronto, Chris Hall, who is the PRO of the Florida Chapter, and Mr. Swaney Andrews, chairman of the NDC St. John's branch. I want to thank you all for being on Heartbeat today, and thank you, Senator Thomas, for joining us to clarify this matter of the alleged non-payment of seed money to a particular recipient known as Mr. Rolo. Thank you all so very much, and thank you for joining the Heartbeat today, all those who are on WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio, and indeed those who are on the Facebook page. Thank you so very much, and see you next Friday, which would be United We Dance in Guelph, St. John. Thank you, and do have a great Sunday afternoon. Until next week, goodbye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Everybody.
Thank you indeed. Thank you.
This June marks 1 year. 1 year since the National Democratic Congress resounding victory at the polls. And we are celebrating. Join us here in Carriacou for 3 days of festivities starting Sunday, June 11th with a church service at the Evangelical Church from 4 p.m. Then on Saturday, June 17th, it's Fun Day and Rally behind Sands Long Wall from 12 noon. Enough eats and drinks on sale. It all culminates in an epic yellow down on Friday, June 23rd. Wear your best yellow and assembling from the party office from 12 noon to show your support. Celebrating with the Honorable Tevin Andrews and the NDC. Don't miss out on this memorable event. Wear yellow to support this cause and come together as we celebrate 1 year of momentous transformation.
Hello, Grenadians in Canada and friends of Grenadians in Canada. This is a special invitation from me, Prime Minister of Grenada, inviting you to join me on the 1st of July 2023 at Bellevue Manor for a special evening, a grand gala. Accompanying me will be the Honorable Joseph Andal, MP for St. Patrick West and Minister for Foreign Affairs. The gala is an aim of raising funds to assist us in building a resource center in Grenada. The Resource Center will be a hub for community activities, for training, for meeting, greeting, and for conventions. So, we invite all of you to come out and join us. Your donation to this event is only $250, and space is limited, so we really do invite you to get your tickets early. I look forward to meeting, greeting, and sharing a meal with all of you as we look to move Grenada forward. I look forward to seeing you on the 1st of July.
exhilarating feeling when the National Democratic Congress emerged victorious in last year's election. Well, it's almost 1 year and it's time to celebrate, relieve, and rekindle that spirit of unity and triumph.
Forward, 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 move the country.
Now, this is an invitation to you, your family, and your friends to join the Western Zone of the National Democratic Congress for a unique celebration. It's the United Dance Big People Party. Going down on Friday, June 16 from 8 p.m. until at the St. John's Anglican School in Guab. Admission only $20. Dress code launch attire. Imagine an evening of commentary where everyone dance, move, and expresses our collective power. Every laughter strengthens our bond, and every cheer celebrates our success. Join us in celebrating our victory, unity, and the power of democracy. So mark your calendar, get your dancing shoe, get your best outfits ready, and let's party with a purpose. See you at the United Dance Big People Party. For more information and table bookings, please call 415-5186 or 405-8783.